Hi, we're going to talk about some jazz concepts, focusing on Latin rhythms in particular. And this concept is called the push. And what does it mean to push a rhythm? Basically, you take simple rhythms and shift some of the notes from downbeats to upbeats. And notes are usually shifted ahead of the beat, meaning they're shifted earlier in the measure, but sometimes they get pushed back behind the beat too. So here's an example. A very simple rhythm with notes on beats 1 and 3, and this is what it sounds like. 1, 3, 1. You take that last note, the 8th note, and push it forward. Now it's on the and of 4. We turn the second half note into a dotted quarter to make it fit the measure. And this is what we get. 1, 3, and. It helps to subdivide the dotted note so you really feel the rhythm. 1, 3, and 4, and. Like that. Another great way to count rhythms is to vocalize using jazz syllables. And if you listen very carefully, you'll hear me subdivide that dotted quarter note with some more interesting sounds that imitate a drum set. Ba da ba do ba. Ba 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 do ba. Like that. Here's another example where we take the last two notes of the rhythm and push them forward to the upbeats, and to make it fit we turn them into 8th notes. Now the original rhythm sounded like this. 1, 2, 4, 1. Bop, 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 bop. And when we push those notes ahead, we get this sound. 1, 2, and. 1, 2, and. Or bop, bop, to bop, bop. Bop, bop, to bop, bop. And our final example is where we take a note and instead of pushing it earlier in a measure, we're going to slide it back. So watch the half note here. We're going to go from beat 3 and shove it back to the and of 3. And of course we have to turn it into a dotted quarter note to compensate. Now the original rhythm sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. And when we push that half note back to the and of 3, now we get this. 1, 2, and 1. 1, 2, and 1. Or even better, bop, bop, to ba da. Bop, bop, to ba da. Okay? So the best way to practice this, first things first, listen to recordings. The song that we have in our folder, Puerto Nuevo, uses these rhythms extensively. Second thing is vocalize the rhythms, and don't be shy about it. I gave you two examples of ways to do that. You can count the rhythms out loud, or you can use some jazz vocalizations. And very important, when you go back and listen to the recording again, you'll hear where I chose to subdivide the beat. And usually that's on a dotted quarter note, or it's on a regular quarter note followed by an 8th rest. It's that bop, boppa do bop. And that helps time it out, but it also really helps you feel those rhythms, because that's what the drummer would be doing behind that rhythm. Well, it's not the last thing, but try to move your body, tap your toe, pat your knee, nod your head, whatever you got to do to keep a steady beat going in your body while you're doing these vocalizations. Right, and the last thing really would be to whip out that metronome and put it to some good use. If you've got a steady beat, an external source clicking right next to you, that's going to keep your sense of rhythm really honest. That's all for now.